Hey, Michael Sparks here. What I'm going to do today is talk a little bit about making a straw bale garden. We're going to start from scratch with some straw bales we bought. The reason we're doing this is because it's hard to find good dirt in Tennessee where we live, so we're going to basically make our own compost in place. It's really hard to get a lot of compost too, so I've watched some videos on the internet about making a straw bale garden. I've had some success with it on a limited scale on using one or two little bales, so we're going to make a larger one for this year. What I'm going to do now is show you some of the groundwork that we're doing prior to putting in the bales and getting them started composting. So check it out. So right here is our basically we made some raised beds. We got one here. This is last year's garden. One over there, one here. And so I dug down a little bit into the soil, maybe 4 to 6 inches, put up my wood borders, and threw some cardboard down there to protect it from weeds coming up for the first year or whatever. And then we're going to put the straw bales in place. You see here I got 9 straw bales is what's going to fit in there. So we're going to do that next. So now we got our straw bales in place. Took actually 10 of them. I took one bale and stuffed it in between because there was just enough to, well, about a half a foot gap on the end, so I pulled the bales and then stuck them in the middle, so it's a real tight fit of all the hay bales. Of course, I left the strings on them. That'll keep them in place, so they'll last a couple of years. Probably be able to get 2 or 3 years planting out of this. And when it breaks down, it'll be just a real thick bed of composted humus type of material that should hold lots of moisture. What we have to do now, that's why we're starting here. It's the end of August 2011, actually August 28th. We have to get this where it starts the breakdown process. What it does is, because it's a high carbon type of material, you want to break it down with a high nitrogen source. And what we've bought here is something from the co-op. It's a 3400. That's 34% nitrogen, 0 phosphorus, 0 potassium. It's derived from urea. And I know I'm an organic gardener. We're not actually going to be planting anything in it this year. This is just to start the breakdown process, and it requires lots of nitrogen. Fertilizer I have, and I'll probably put some of our fertilizer on after it starts breaking down to encourage the bacterial and fungal growth inside of it. But right now we just want to get the carbon content broke down into something usable for plants. So this is an ongoing experiment, and we'll let you know how it works next year as we continue on with our straw bale gardening here in beautiful Tennessee. Well, as an update here, it's been about 3 weeks. Today's the 17th of September, 17th of September 2011, or 18th of September, I'm sorry. We'll get our dates right here eventually. So it's been just a couple weeks for the straw bales have been in place here. Gotten several good sized rains on them, as well as I had put the fertilizer. My last when I was putting the fertilizer, that video didn't come out very good, so we're going to demonstrate putting a couple more cupfuls of this 3400 urea high nitrogen fertilizer. Just use a little styrofoam cup right there. Use a styrofoam cup, and for each bale I put full cup on there. Just sprinkle it on there. When it rains, the rain will soak it down into there, help break up the bales. They have turned a little bit of a darker color, not really much, you really almost can't tell, but they are breaking down. Kind of cool here. You see some kind of shroom thing was growing in there coming up. So so we have fungal activity already. There's a shroom right there. Yeah. So we're going to put a couple more cups of this fertilizer just to break it down. It's 3400 high nitrogen fertilizer. Get these bales ready for next year. So we decided to had those 2 extra bales. They had sat here for a couple of weeks, and I moved them over here. We'll plant something, maybe some pole beans or something that grows real well by themselves, and we'll use this. Just set them there, nowhere else to put them. That dirt was bad there anyhow, so as it breaks down, it'll maybe make some good dirt for us. As you can see, the end of September's things are starting to cool off for us, and we're excited about doing this straw bale garden for next year. You'll see here, this has only been 2 weeks out in the weather, but there's some grass growing on this. That's from the wheat straw or the oats, whatever they were growing. It's not a big deal. You can trim it off if you want. When it grows up, maybe hit it with a weed eater or something. But just let it sit on there. It'll break back down anyhow. But by next year, it won't be coming up because it'll be too hot for it in the summertime. But anyhow. Well, folks, it's now March 26th. And you can see our straw bales are growing stuff. These are peas. We got some other stuff we just planted this weekend. We've had gorgeous temperatures. We've got a little trellis that we made out of some fence post and whatnot. But over the winter, I've added a couple more fertilizer treatments, as well as some Ag-Gran fertilizer, and so we're doing our straw bale gardening. Also, we've got another thing we've got going over here. We made a little hoop out of some fencing with an over top of another straw bale. As you can see, it's we're going to put some zucchini there and have it climb up on there. Keep it off the ground and plenty of moisture. As you can see, our grass around here is big patches. Nothing really grows in the dirt. This is all fill. This was a fill-in place, and it's all full of rocks and everything. So this is seems to be the best method so far. So we'll have some more video as time goes on. Well, today's June 25th, 2012. Going to show you our straw bale garden after all the crops have come up and things have planted and growing and everything. Sorry we're a little bit late in doing this, but just the way it goes. And anyhow, as you can see here from earlier in the actually last year, we created a straw bale garden. We put about 12 straw bales in this raised bed here. It was just bare ground when we started. Put the straw bales in there and broke them down over the winter. We did have a little trouble in the spring. Some of our plants didn't grow for nothing. I think our carbon content was still too high. We didn't have them broke down enough. We supplied some more nitrogen, which then killed some of the plants, so we started back over. But as you can see, it's been in the high 90s. It's actually about 97 degrees out right now, and these green beans are just growing off into Never Land. We don't put that much water on these either, so these things really hold the water. We still have some of our lettuces. They're about done though. This is probably the last week for these lettuces. It's just too hot. They are bolting and getting pretty bitter tasting. So anyhow, just thought I'd show our straw bale garden. We're planning on maybe doing a couple more of these for next year and increasing our crop growing area for strawbale. Over here is another couple bales we did same time from last year. We planted some squashes in this. I tried this little cage deal to maybe get them to grow up over there. Some of them have done it, and some of them haven't, but some of the things are doing really good in there. Again, the key is the water. These things really hold the water. In Tennessee, we've been a couple weeks without rain. It's been really dry, and you can see that the straw bales are holding the water in and keeping our crops green. So got some squashes. We've already harvested a bunch of squash from actually these are zucchini. We've harvested a bunch of zucchini from these already, some nice size ones, but they're growing. You can look down in there how good the stalks look down inside there. Looks great. So as you can see, straw bale gardening works.